Hi, everybody. I almost said good morning. It's not morning. I want to adjust my camera just a little bit. I need to. Yes, I should have done it before. YouTube doesn't give me a great option for like previewing the camera. So I guess that'll be good enough. All right. Welcome to the studio, you guys. It is technically week 5 of March. March is a long month. We've got wrapping up classes this week for Mondays, right? It's because Monday's been behind all month long. So this is when they finally get caught up. They finally finish up their projects, and everybody else finished theirs last week. So this is week 5 of March. So I don't have a lot to talk about in terms of what's going on in the individual classes, except to say there are no Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday classes. None of them. They do not meet. Okay. The reason the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday classes don't meet is because it is the 5th day of the month, right? Most of our classes, with the exception of preschool and toddlers, meet 4 times during the month. So when there's a 5th one, we get that day off. So there's 5 Tuesdays, 5 Wednesdays, and 5 Thursdays in the month of March. So that means that they are off days. If you come to class on Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Thursdays, don't come this week because we won't be here. Okay. There is no class. We sent reminder emails this morning. So hopefully everybody got those, and then hopefully you either get it in email form or video form or however you get your information. That's really, really important. We hate when people show up because, we wasted your time coming here to the studio. So you can always look for your class calendar. The easiest way to find it is to go to our website under orangeeaselart.com and actually click the link that says for current students. It's right underneath the banner photo. And that'll just kind of drill down and how to find your schedule within the Sawyer account. Sawyer is our third-party registration software. It's got a really great account kind of back-end dashboard where you guys can see what you're registered for in a calendar format. So it populates those classes onto a calendar so that you know what classes are on, like what days are on days and when days are off days. I know most of our older kids, our kindergarten and up kids, you usually don't have to worry about it because there aren't that many months that have 5 of some day where it actually affects your class. But our younger ones, right, our preschoolers, our toddlers, and our fundamentals classes, they only meet 3 times a month. So they always have at least 1 off day. And this month they actually have 2 off days. So that's why it's good to know where to find your calendar. So that's the first thing and probably the most important thing I wanted to get out of the way on this video is to make sure everybody knew after today, not Monday people, everybody else, after today, there are no classes this week. Now, my Friday people, there's only one Friday class we do in person, and that is my Friday fundamentals class. And we are not having class this week either, even though it's technically April and we could. I just really didn't want to start my month on a Friday. I kind of wanted to start my month on a Monday. And so that's why we went ahead and did that. So we're not going to start this Friday. We'll actually go ahead and start next Friday. And we still have plenty of Fridays within the month to get all of our classes in. So that's why it works out that way. Again, you can see your schedule on Sawyer. If you have trouble with that, next time you're in the studio and if I'm around, let me know and I'll help you find it on your phone and all that stuff. Okay. I'm going to pull up my notes here and we'll just go through a couple things. I don't have examples or anything to show you because most of them are headed home or they've already left the studio. And so check out social media. We did put a lot of pictures up last week from the Tuesday classes as they were wrapping up. And then I have pictures from the Thursday classes that I need to get up onto stories and things. I'm so far behind on at the end of the month. It's just like all the instructors send me tons of photos, which is great. But I'm behind on editing and getting them up. So we'll stay tuned. I'll get some more stuff going up this week. Our April classes do begin next Monday. So that's Monday, April 4th. And it is Fibers Month. So we went through, for those of you who take the multimedia classes, right? We started in the fall with chalk pastels, oil pastels, and charcoal. Then we moved on to clay. Then we moved on to ink. Then we moved on to watercolors. And then in this semester, we've done acrylics. We've done printmaking. We've done mixed media. That's this month. In March, and then in April we move on to fibers. And so this is our soft sculpture. This is our sewing. This is our weaving. This is our felting and embroidery and all the things that use that touchable, wonderful textured fabric stuff. So we got a lot of really great projects going on for that multimedia crew. And then our drawing classes are going to move away from what they've been working on. They've been doing a lot of people art, very heavy on figure, very heavy on portraiture this month. They're going to move away. They're actually going to move into some animals, which is always a popular thing for the kids to be able to draw animals. So there's a number of different animals they're drawing. They're going to do a lot from photograph, not from life, because we're not going to actually bring animals in here. although that would be really cool, but we're not going to. So they'll use a lot from photograph or from drawing reference or step-by-step drawing, breaking things down into shapes. What's really cool about that is the body of an animal has the same structure as the human body, right? There's still a skeleton and then a musculature, and then of course whatever is on top of it. We wear clothes, they wear fur. So you have all of that kind of underlying structure that we have with figure, and we'll see what we can do in terms of applying it to animals. So that's what's coming up for the drawing classes. And then fundamentals classes move on to their kind of Monet and nature inspired month. So we're excited for the things that they have coming up. We have some deadlines, so I'll go over some housekeeping because this is gonna be a really short video. So housekeeping wise, on Friday, which is April 1st, right? On Friday is when we'll start accepting junior staff applications. We've talked about it a few times in these videos, and I just want to touch on it again. If you have a student who is finishing 5th grade this year, meaning they're going to graduate elementary school and they're an Orange Easel student, we would love to have them on staff for this summer. And we ask that they are an Orange Easel student and that they are familiar with the studio. They're familiar with our classes. They're familiar with our staff. They're familiar with our space. They're familiar with lots of different mediums. That they have identity as an artist, because the more confident we are in ourselves, the better instructors that we are. So I'm excited to see what our junior staff can be this year. Last year was the first year we did it, and we were going to do it in 2020. We were going to do it in 2020, and then 2020 happened. And then 2021, we weren't really sure what was going on leading into summer. So the junior staff thing was kind of, I don't want to say it was thrown together because we had the framework figured out from early 2020, late 2019 when we drafted it. And we just never put it in place. But it was a last minute, let's do this last year. And so this year we're starting a lot earlier, and I'm excited to get some applications in and get to build this team of teen instructors. So if you have a kid in the studio who fits that criteria, you can learn more about it on our website. It's orangeeaselart.com/junior staff. Or you can just go to the search bar and type in junior staff, or you can search our social media. There's the link on there too, or you can email me and I'll text it to you. But there's some more information about what to expect. I have had some people ask what's the time commitment? How often are they working? And we schedule them like we do our instructors, where you are scheduled for a camp. So it's not like you're every Monday from 1 to 4, or you have this random schedule where you're here all throughout the weeks, all summer long. It's not like that. You pick your camp and then you're here for camp. It's the same way as if you were to enroll for camp, really, except you're here a little early and you stay a little bit late because you got to clean up and help set for the next day. So it is a 28 plus hour commitment, but only one time. Does that make sense? Now, we do have some kids that do multiple camps with us, but the minimum we ask is that you could do one camp. So you're here the whole camp as a leader of that camp. That way you can make connections with the kids that are in that camp. That way, you really become a part of that teaching team for that camp. So we'd love to have those kids. And again, go to the website, learn more about that, get your applications in so you can come and interview with our staff. The application deadline for that is the 15th. So it's a very narrow window. It's only 2 weeks where we're going to accept applications, because we got to get people interviewed. We got to get schedules written, offers out, and then staff training is coming up at the end of May. So that's what's going on. If you have questions about that, send me a message. We'd love to chat. The other thing that happens on Friday, probably doesn't really matter, but on Friday, the art show applications also start, because it starts on the 1st, but we don't have any classes, so I don't know why anyone would put in applications, but the website will update on the 1st to have the applications where you can print it and fill it out. If you are in the studio, we'll have them printed here in the studio too, so don't feel like you have to have them printed, but we'll have a stack here along with a collections box where you can tag your artwork and put your application with it. It is not a juried show. It's not you might get in or you might not. It's not like that. So when we say application, it's not like you're not sure if you're going to make it into the art show. Everybody who is an Orange Easel student this school year, so 2021 through 2022, whether you took classes in September and October and then you had to take a break and you haven't been back since, you are welcome to come and participate in the art show. All we ask is that you submit only one piece of art. So that can be kind of tricky because I know it's hard to pick one, right? I have to pick one, and that's really hard. So you're going to pick one piece of art and you're going to fill out the application. And that just gives us a lot of information. We need to know your artist name. We need to know if you have a title for your artwork. We need to know what mediums you used for your artwork. We want to know a short description of it, because that helps us. If that paper and that artwork get separated, it helps us to put things back together, because we hate to misplace or mislabel art when we're putting it up for display. Your art does not need to be framed. It doesn't need to be matted. If it is, that's okay. We will work. We can work with anything. We have the whole studio to put things up, so we're excited to get the show set up. And some things that isn't framed might end up framed in order to go on the wall, or might end up matted in order to go up on the wall. So we'll finish it if we feel like that would benefit it. Otherwise, some of them will just go up as they are. You can submit 3-dimensional artworks if you want to, if your clay piece or your fiber sculpture or whatever you got, that would be just fine. It doesn't have to be something that was created in class. So if you created something for school, or you created something on your own, or you created something from Creation Nation, or whatever you want to submit, all we ask is it is something you created within the last year. That's all. Okay. So art show applications are starting on the 1st, and that doesn't close until I think the Friday before the show. So we'll take it all the way up to that Friday, because honestly, we're not going to do anything with it except just collect it all. We won't touch it in terms of prepping it until Sunday of the show. And then the whole team is coming into both studios. Like the Plattwoods team will be at Plattwoods, and the Liberty team will be at Liberty. And that will be our whole day, is getting the show set up and putting things up. Lots of hands. It won't take us very long, but we'll get your show up and ready to go for 6 o'clock that night. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else. It's been like 3 years, you guys, since we did an art show. So I cannot wait. I know there's a lot of people out there who haven't done the art show with us. So it is super informal. It is an open house style. It is come and go. So you're welcome to, flow in and out. I'm really hoping there's nice weather, especially here in Liberty, so that we can have doors open and we can be outside and spill into the parking lot. Because especially in Liberty, we're going to get real full real fast. So there will be an awards presentation. We are giving away awards. The instructors are who pick the awards. So it's the teaching team who gets together, especially during that setup time, and picks the awards. They are based on age group. So, and we pick awards. Then the awards presentation is roughly around 6:30. And I will probably be doing the one here in Liberty. And I'm assuming Miss Sarah will do the one out of Plattwoods, but I don't know. Maybe she'll hand it off to somebody else out there. We'll see. But that'll be happening on the art show on the 24th. Okay. So those are the kind of the housekeeping notes in terms of the month of April. A lot going on. And I know it's a busy time of year just for families in general. So we try to get all the crazy stuff done before May, because I feel like May is worse than December sometimes. We are late enough in the day, you guys, that my coffee in the office is gone. So fortunately, there's a coffee shop next door to me now. Yeah. All right, okay, I've got just a couple more notes. One is about summer, just to reiterate. Oh, and art show, back to art show, everyone is invited. Toddlers, preschoolers, you guys too. Okay? Okay. Just a reminder to everybody, there are no regular classes over summer. We get to the end of May and everything stops. Your drawing class, your fundamentals class, your K-First multimedia class, all of it. And we are on break for June, July, and August. There are no regular classes. And the reason I say that is because it's really important that everybody gets that, because I'm getting, every now and then I get a random person that's like, well, we're not going to do summer camps. We'll just do the classes. And I was like, no, there's no classes. There's only the camps. It's only the camps. So just know that there's only the camps, and the registration for those camps are going on. The Glitter Fests are both full. The Fantasy Creature one in Liberty filled over the weekend, so that's full. That's July. Fantasy Creatures in Plattwoods, it's really, really close. I think there's 4 spots left. So if you want that one, that's another July camp. July camps are always the first to go because everybody's in summer school in June. Now, that's an exaggeration. Not everybody, but so many people do summer school in June that July is the month they want to come. So I think the only ones the only June camps left with space are Fantasy Creatures in Plattwoods, which, like I said, is really close, and then the 2 underwater adventure camps. And those ones are over halfway. So they're down to the last half of the class to fill. So just be aware of that. And then we haven't talked a lot about it, but there are story time classes this year. And those are geared towards your preschool kids, right? Because the camps are the 4 and up. And then the preschool set, that's a Friday morning class, and it's only done once. It's not like during the school year where we've got a Monday class and a Tuesday class and Thursday class and Friday class. There's one. It's Friday, and the only reason the only reason there aren't multiple sessions of it is because we have camps going on every other day. So Friday is the only day that's open. So that's where we put it. And there are only 16 spots. And so I think as soon as people realize that that's on there, that's going to fill pretty quickly. So if you're like thinking about it, you're planning on it, you just haven't done it yet, make sure you get your name in there because I'll go real fast. All right. And they are single sessions. So unlike the school year, my fundamentals parents, unlike the school year where you're signed up for the month, these are like pick and choose your story time. So, if you're out of town the third weekend in July, then just don't sign up for that one. Just sign up for the others. Okay. Last note, fall registration opens August 1st. That's my last note that I have on here. I get questions about it, especially since all of the classes for spring are pretty much full. There's a few random spots, but I went ahead and just closed it on the website because it felt mean to have the inquiry form out there and then have people submit an inquiry form and then be like, nope, no room in that class. And then they submit another one and you're like, nope, no room in that class. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to put that they're all full. And when they join the wait list, if there's a room, I'll message them. But really, there's like 4 classes that have a spot, and that's it. Everything else is full. The fall registration will open August 1st. There will be more spots. When we planned so far out in advance, you guys. So when we made the 2021-2022 school year schedule for the team, like for the class schedule and for the work schedule, we made it, if anybody can remember back to fall, like summer of 2021, that's when we made the schedule. And so a lot of unknowns, and we did pare down what we thought, what we normally would have done in 2018. We pared down because we just didn't know. And the worst thing we can do is have a million classes on the schedule and have them all have 4 kids in it. So we had fewer classes offered. And as the school year has evolved, we've added a few here and there. But starting next school year, we'll be back up to kind of that 2019, 2018 level and then some, so that we can have space for those new students. Making classes bigger is not an option for me. It's just, I put my foot down there. More is not better. So we want to make sure we have class sizes that are manageable. It makes your experience better as families. It makes your kids' experience better as students. It makes my instructors' experience better when they don't have 26 kids running around. Like, really 12 to 14 is like our sweet spot. So where we'd love to operate classes at 10 so that we always have 2 to 3 spots available for new students to rotate in. I've always said that I like to operate at 75% capacity. And so we just need to add more classes so that we have that ability. So the new schedule for fall will be posted around the 4th of July. For anyone who's really curious in terms of how my brain works, you can go to orangeeaselart.com and check out our Google Calendar. It's at like /calendar. Again, you can just search it. It is drafted for the fall, so you can go and just kind of peek around and see. It's not set in stone, but if you want to see what we're playing with in terms of arranging classes, not a lot has changed, but things have shifted so that we can shove in more class times. Some things have shifted down. They've shifted earlier so that we can add a 3rd class later in the evening, or a 4th class. I think Liberty's going to run 4 classes in the large classroom in the evenings. So we'll be open till 9 most nights running classes. So it just that's just what needs to happen in order to have enough classes for everybody. We've added a bunch of drawing classes because those ones have been really popular this year, and we want to make sure that we're offering enough for our kiddos. So all of that is coming, and it'll be published around the 4th of July. So that way you can plan your fall, and then registration begins August 1st. Yeah, that's it. All right. That's all I got for notes today in this weird 5th week of March. If you guys need anything from me, you know where to find me. Send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, or send me an email, and I will get back with you very, very quickly. So have a wonderful, wonderful week here, you guys, and I will chat with you next week when we start our April classes. Bye, everybody.